Good morning, fellow pipers. I've said this before, I should just call this Tales from the Workshop, but hey, anyway, good morning. And I was just having a think this morning about history. Now, if you talk to people about history, a lot of people, especially at school, I think, maybe have had a negative experience of history lessons. I've heard people say, "Oh, it's so boring. It's all dates." And history exams, well, here in the UK anyway, especially, are full of dates. You know, what happened on such a date, blah de blah. This law was passed then, and all this kind of thing. You know, the whatever it is, you know. And I get that. I can understand why that would put a lot of people off, because the thing about the perception of history is that it's happened, it's gone, it's done for, therefore it's irrelevant, it doesn't matter, so what? And you know, I see where people are coming from. I understand that. I think when you start to look at your own family history, and everybody's got family history, it doesn't matter, you know, whether you were adopted or wherever you've come from, however you've come to this point, there is a history associated with you and people that you know, the people are in your family or in your kind of circle of friends or you know, acquaintances. That's all history. Every one of those people themselves has got a story about how they came to a particular point in time. And then every one of them who's got a brother, auntie, uncle, sister, mother, whoever it is, in themselves has got another link to another time in history and things like that. And it's everybody, I think, at some point in their life wants to know, you know, where did I come from? You know, what was my ancestry? You know, what's happened in our family of any interest or significance. And I guarantee you there's always going to be something there. And I think that is the key to appreciating history, is when you actually start to look at your own family, maybe doing your family tree, you know, genealogy, things like that. I've looked into it a bit with my family, and it's like an Aladdin's, not an Aladdin's cave, a Pandora's box, I guess, if you like. You open the lid and everything comes out, and you find out things, and you know, there's all kinds of weird and wonderful stuff in the family history. And maybe some of it isn't, you know, particularly good or nice or pleasant, but it's very interesting. And I'm always interested in the story. And don't ask me why, but I've been looking at, I've been watching a lot of westerns, but I'm very interested in Western history. I'm very interested in pioneering history. When the first sort of European settlers went to America and Canada and places like that, and opened up the frontiers and traded with the Indians and set up the trading posts, the fur trade, you know, how that was driven by the fashion industry for fur hats in Europe. You know, I mean, all of these things kind of link together. And I'm fascinated by that, and I'm fascinated by the character and the personalities and the sort of what's the word? The kind of you know, the drive of these people to go to new places and do new things. So I've been looking at Western history and, you know, researching things like that, and the Alamo, fascinated by that in history. If you look into that, and you know what that was about, you know, with England occupying countries to the north and Spain having lands in the south, you know, and America was kind of being squeezed at either end. It's all very interesting stuff. And I haven't absorbed all that yet, because I start opening up a link on something, and then it leads me to something else, to something else, to something else, and takes you off on this big sort of adventure of acquiring information and facts and stuff like that. And I was looking up Wyatt Earp and some of the characters from the Wild West, and I was really interested to see that he died in 1929. So you think of the Wild West and you think, oh, that was back in the 1800s or whatever. Well, he lived until 1929. And not only did he live till 1929, but he used to go to the cinemas to watch the old westerns with heroes like Jesse James and himself portrayed on the screen. I mean, how amazing is that? And not only that, but in 1929, that was the year that my mum was born. So already I've made a kind of personal link there with the dates and the time and things like that. And then it made me think that at the time of the Second World War, when that started in 1939, she was 10 years old. And I remember her telling me about them having to climb under tables and go under the stairs because Coventry in the United Kingdom was being bombed by the Germans. And all of a sudden, all of these things start to take on a new meaning and a new personal significance. And the thing about history is, all history is contemporary. It's only history after the fact. So this moment now, me talking to you, this will be history in 5 minutes time, a year's time, or whatever. So history is very much alive. History is very much happening all the time. It's being shaped all the time. It's not just boring old dates in boring old books about boring old events. Every single one of those events has had some impact on liberty or life or existence or where we are at this point in time. So that's why history is so exciting. Just my thoughts. And I am sitting here smoking my first pipe of the day in my little Dr. Plum Dinky rusticated. Do like this pipe. It's a great little pipe. I might have to get some more like this. So, fellow pipe smokers, we're all historians. And with that, I will leave you all in peace, and I will talk again soon.